Greetings and welcome to another Pokemon 2019 or Pokemon Journeys anime episode review. This time I'm talking about episode 107, so let's get to it. Episode 107 begins in Cerise Park, where Ash and Go are tending to the Pokemon as usual. Chloe soon appears with her phone in hand. She is here to take pictures of the Pokemon at the behest of Professor Cerise. Ash and Go reveal that these are regularly scheduled pictures and that they have taken said pictures in the past as well, which surprises Chloe. Chloe then wonders what she should take pictures of. Good boy Yamper offers to guide Chloe, so everyone follows Yamper, who proudly begins a tour of Cerise Park. Yamper is soon greeted by Bunnelby and by Mankey. I love how adorable Yamper's greeting is, and it's clear that Yamper is loved and respected by the other Pokemon. Chloe is delighted when she sees this, and Ash says that Yamper is like a big brother to the other Pokemon, which is clearly the case. Grookey soon comes running in a panic with tears in its eyes. Grookey approaches Yamper and Grookey motions and says what's going on. Go assumes that Grookey lost its stick, which Grookey confirms. I love that Grookey went to Yamper first with its problem instead of going to its trainer first, which shows that the other Pokemon trust Yamper a lot. Yamper uses Grookey's scent to search for the stick. Grookey is depressed without its stick, but Yamper soon returns with the stick in mouth, which delights Grookey. Go thanks Yamper and Ash says that Yamper really is everyone's big brother. Chloe then pets Yamper for being such a good boy. They soon hear a sound in the distance and Yamper runs off to investigate. So Ash decides that they should follow Yamper, likely so that they can see Yamper's problem-solving skills in action once more. They all soon find the source of the sound, which is Pinsir, who is scratching a tree while angrily snapping its Pinsir, which is where the sound comes from. Everyone wonders what's wrong with Pinsir since Pinsir is clearly not happy. They all then look across from where they are and they see Lilligant and Gossifleur who are walking in the flower field. Chloe takes a picture of Lilligant and Gossifleur, and you can see that there is something in the bushes that has hearts in its eyes. Chloe notices this in the picture and she zooms into the bushes to reveal that the something is Heracross, who is once again infatuated with Lilligant. This is why Pinsir is not happy. Like in episode 94, Pinsir is jealous and heartbroken. Chloe, Ash, and Go talk about what happened in episode 94, which saddens Pinsir even more. So Chloe reassures Pinsir that Heracross will be back to normal before long. Yamper then has an idea. He goes and finds Panpour. He then brings Panpour to where Heracross is. At Yamper's behest, Panpour uses Water Gun to wake Heracross up from his infatuation, which is hilarious. After realizing what he was doing, Heracross picks a bunch of flowers which he gives to Pinsir in order to apologize and mend their relationship. Though hesitant at first, Pinsir does accept the flowers and the apology. So Heracross and Pinsir go back to acting like two lovebirds, or I guess love bugs in this case. However, this does not last long, since Alchemy soon appears and Heracross is lured by the sweet scent into being unfaithful once again, and he follows Alchemy as a result. But this time Pinsir is not just going to mope. Instead, Pinsir ends Heracross's infatuation with a suplex, which is hilarious. Pinsir then walks away angrily, while Heracross chases Pinsir like, "Forgive me, please, I won't do it again, I promise." I guess that Heracross must be possessed by the spirit of Brock or something, or he simply cannot resist sweet scents. Chloe wonders if Heracross and Pinsir will be fine, and Go says that they will probably make up soon. I found Heracross and Pinsir's relationship to be cute and funny back in episode 94, and I said back then that I wouldn't mind seeing more of them in the future. So it's great that we did indeed get more of them. Rattata soon comes running in a panic and it enlists the help of Yamper. The two of them run off and everyone else follows. Rattata leads everyone to a fight between two Geodude, which soon turns into a brawl between several Pokemon. Though Yamper soon stops the fight. Chloe and Go wonder why these Pokemon are fighting. Go says that Rattata, Pidgey, and the others are usually playing here. So Ash wonders if the rock Pokemon lost their spot. While they wonder what's happening, Yamper runs off, so everyone follows Yamper once again. I love that Golurk is like, really? You're just going to run off and leave this mess here with me? Yamper soon leads everyone to the river, which is clearly polluted. Go realizes that this is where the rock Pokemon play and that the water is dirty. A loud and disturbing sound then echoes from the river, which makes everyone except Yamper cover their ears. Yamper soon confronts the source of the sound, which turns out to be Bruxish. Chloe assumes that Bruxish is annoyed because of the polluted water, and Go realizes that the rock Pokemon left the area because of Bruxish. Bruxish then starts gnashing again. Everyone wonders how they can stop Bruxish, but they can't think of anything. But like before, Yamper has an idea. Yamper goes and finds Vibrava. I love how Vibrava just lets itself get taken away by Yamper, looking like a toy. And I think that Vibrava kind of looks like a shrimp here. Yamper brings Vibrava to the river and Vibrava uses Supersonic, which clashes with the sound emanating from Bruxish, and it's gnashing. While the combination of sound waves is unbearably loud at first, everything soon quiets down. Chloe wonders why this happened, so Go explains that the sounds coming from Vibrava and Bruxish cancel each other out, because when a wave combines with its exact opposite, the sound vanishes, like when a positive and a negative combine to make zero. This is in fact true and it is called active noise control, so I learned something new from this episode, which is cool. Ash soon exclaims that the power of science is amazing. This is the same way he reacts to the inventions made by Clement. Go pets and praises Yamper for being such a good boy. Go then realizes that they have to do something about the river. Ash and Chloe agree, so they all decide to make their way upstream so that they can find the source of the pollution. They soon find a slime spread all over the rocks in the area. Yamper soon finds the source of the slime, Pyukumuku. Chloe wonders if the slime is to blame for polluting the river, but Ash says that this is not possible. And Go explains that this slime is a mucus that covers Pyukumuku, therefore it wouldn't pollute the water. Ash says that Pyukumuku is probably unhappy because of the polluted river as well. Ash then says that they should continue their investigation. Chloe and Go agree, however, after making their way further upstream, Rattata comes running in a panic again. Everyone follows Rattata, who leads them back to Golurk and the Pokemon from earlier, who are still fighting. This time the fighting is even more out of control. Like before, Yamper stops the fight, though this time, Yamper actually jumps into the fight and it even kicks a few of the Pokemon out of the fight, which is pretty funny. Realizing that the situation is getting worse, everyone decides that they need to find a solution fast. So, they make their way upstream again. I have to say that I love the cutesy side-scrolling perspective that we get of everyone as they walk together. It makes this feel like a classic RPG, which is pretty much what this episode has been so far, with all the fetch and the side quests that keep popping up, which require specific characters to complete. There is even a main quest that keeps being interrupted by all the side quests. They all soon find that Bruxish is once again disrupting peace with its gnashing, since Vibrava is tired. But Vibrava soon uses Supersonic again to quiet things down. Everyone realizes that they really need to hurry, since Vibrava is running out of steam. Everyone keeps going and they soon find Pyukumuku again, who is not doing it too well. Go tells Pyukumuku to hold on a little longer. They then keep making their way upstream. On the way, Chloe takes a picture of Yamper's reflection on the river and she also takes a picture of Misdreavus. They all soon reach the end of the river and they are all confused because they don't see anything. No poison type Pokemon or a pile of trash that could be polluting the water. However, I noticed that the waterfall is clean, while the river itself is dirty, so I realized that the source of the pollution should be behind the waterfall. While Ash, Chloe, and Gold don't realize this, Yamper does, since he goes behind the waterfall to find the cause of the pollution, which is Grimer, who is relaxing in the water like a total boss. It honestly looks like Grimer is enjoying a peaceful bath in a jacuzzi. Chloe wonders why Grimer is here, and Ash tells Grimer to get out of the water, but Grimer refuses. However, Yamper, being the big brother that everyone respects, successfully persuades Grimer. And so, Grimer leaves its comfy little hideout. Go apologizes to Grimer, though Grimer does not seem to be bothered, and Chloe wonders where Grimer lived originally. Ash says that Grimer used to live in a cave, and Go says that they should take Grimer back to its original home. Once they get to the cave in question, Chloe wonders if this is really the place, and Go explains that since Grimer likes trash and sludge, it was living here so that it would not bother anyone. They then hear that another Pokemon is in the cave. Said Pokemon turns out to be Froakie. I love that when Grimer hears Froakie, it's like, "I'm back, friend!" And Froakie is very happy to see Grimer. It's like, "Oh, friend, you're back!" And the two of them happily greet each other, which is adorable. They are clearly good friends. Go wonders why Froakie is here, and he realizes that Grimer likely gave up its home to Froakie since Froakie is still new here. This explains why Froakie and Grimer are such good friends. Chloe comments that Grimer is really kind, and she then snaps a cute picture of Grimer and Froakie. Chloe then wonders where Grimer will live now. Go says that they can't let Grimer go back to the waterfall, and Ash says that they should all just build a new home for Grimer. I love that in the background here you can see Froakie still bouncing off Grimer, which is wholesome, endearing, and adorable. So with the help of a bunch of ghost Pokemon, they'll work together to build a new home for Grimer, while the full version of Opening 4 plays in the background. In the end, they build a pool made of rock, and they just need to fill it with water to complete Grimer's new home. But before they can do this, Suicune appears atop a nearby hill. Seeing Suicune emerge from the fog here reminded me of the first time a Suicune appeared in the anime back in the Johto arc. Now this scene was shown in one of the latest special previews, so it was known that Suicune would return soon, but I did not know that it would be in this episode until I saw the actual preview for this episode. But I still thought that Suicune's appearance in this episode would be different from the one shown in the special preview, because I did not realize that the scene in the special preview takes place in Cerise Park. I thought that it took place somewhere in the outside world. Therefore, I believed that Suicune would appear both in this episode and in a future episode, but this is not the case. So Go is happy to see Suicune, and Suicune soon uses Rain Dance to call for rain, which soon falls on Cerise Park. Suicune then goes to the waterfall and it starts to run on the river, which purifies the water. I love that Suicune passes by Pyukumuku, who is very happy with the rain, which is adorable. And Suicune also passes by Brava and Bruxish, who are still having a battle of sound waves, which soon stops when the river is cleaned. Suicune then approaches Golurk, Rattata, Pidgey, and the other Pokemon. It's nice that Golurk is shielding the other Pokemon from the rain. It's clear that Yamper is not the only big brother in Cerise Park. Suicune stares at the other Pokemon, who all look in awe at Suicune. Suicune then runs off. I guess that Suicune was telling them that they better stop fighting now. Chloe says that this is a gentle rain, and Go agrees. Ash then notices that the rain filled the pool, so Grimer's home is complete. Go tells Grimer that this is its new home, and after admiring the pool, Grimer happily jumps into the pool with a cannonball-like jump, which is funny, especially since this splashes everyone around the pool with water. Grimer then relaxes in its new home like a boss, and I love how happy Froakie is for Grimer. Suicune then appears behind Yamper. Suicune then looks at Yamper, and it is clearly smiling here. Suicune then looks at everyone else, and I love that all the other Pokemon are taken aback by this. I guess that as a legendary Pokemon, Suicune just emanates an aura that commands respect and awe from those around it. Suicune then greets Yamper. I love that Yamper is so happy here that it wags its little tail around very fast, which is absolutely adorable. It's curious that Suicune greets Yamper on both sides, which reminded me of when someone is given the title of Knight. The person awarding the title uses a sword to tap both shoulders of the person receiving the title. The title of Knight is given to those that make major long-term contributions in any activity, usually at the national or international level, which is exactly what Yamper did by helping the other Pokemon so much. And the title of Knight is usually given by a head of state, like a queen. Suicune, being a legendary Pokemon, definitely fits the role of a monarch or ruler of Cerise Park. So I think that Suicune, recognizing that Yamper is the goodest boy around, decides to honor Yamper's hard work by granting Yamper an official title, like Keeper or Guardian of Cerise Park. Ash says that Suicune must have seen how hard Yamper was working. Chloe agrees, and Go says that sometimes Pokemon really amaze you. He goes on to say that even if Pokemon are apart, the stronger their feelings are, the closer they are connected. Now, in one of the recent special previews, Go was heard saying this over scenes of Ash and Greninja, which is why I thought that Go was saying this about Ash and Greninja, since it does match their situation. But it turns out that Go says this in this episode. Still, it is likely that it was used in the special preview in the way that it was, precisely because it matches Ash and Greninja so perfectly. So Ash says that feelings can get through to Pokemon as well, including Go's feelings. And Go says that he hopes that this is the case. Also, I love that Yamper is still wagging his tail, which is so cute, especially with the little sounds he makes. Suicune then looks at Go, and it goes back to the top of the hill. Suicune looks at Go and at Cerise Park one last time, and Suicune then vanishes, leaving behind a rainbow. While looking at the rainbow, Go says, "See you later, Suicune." With the river now clean, Pyukumuku and Bruxish are now swimming happily. I love that it looks like Pyukumuku is saying hello by waving as it passes by. The rock Pokemon are happy that they got to return to their spot. Vibrava is happy because it no longer has to deal with Bruxish. And Golurk is happy because Rattata, Pidgey, and the other Pokemon can now go back to playing and being happy as normal. Everyone is happy and relieved because everything was resolved. And Chloe praises Yamper for everything he did. This makes Yamper smile, which is so adorable and endearing. Chloe then takes a picture of this wholesome moment. Yamper really is a good boy. The episode then cuts to the evening. Go wonders if Chloe got a lot of great pictures. Chloe says that she did, and that she got a lot of good pictures of what Yamper accomplished throughout the day. And the sound that Yamper makes here in response is very cute. Ash then receives a notification for his next World Coronation Series battle, which is a Masters 8 promotion match against Raihan. Now, I knew going into this episode that Ash will battle Raihan in episode 109, but I did not think that he would get the notification for the battle in this episode. But this was done so that the next episode can happen, since Ash will go see Greninja so that Lucario can get stronger for the battle against Raihan. So Go wonders what a promotion match is, and the Rotom phone says that a promotion match means that if Ash wins, then he will swap ranks with Raihan, which will allow Ash to join the renowned Masters 8, the strongest trainers in the World Coronation Series. Hearing this gave me goosebumps. It's just so exciting that we have finally gotten to this point. Chloe and Go are both amazed when they hear this, and Go says to Ash, "It's finally time." Ash says yes, and he looks off into the distance with a determined expression, clearly fired up for his upcoming battle. Now, I had a thought here while watching the episode. I have always believed that Pokemon Journeys would end with a tournament between the Masters 8, meaning that we would have one of the classic Pokemon League arcs, but with just 8 trainers. So Ash would have to defeat just 2 members of the Masters 8 in order to face Leon in the finals. Now, I was completely in favor of this, but I did lament the fact that Ash would not be able to face everyone in the Masters 8. However, given what is said here in episode 107, I think that since Ash is in rank 9, and he will battle Raihan first, who is in rank 8, and they will swap places if Ash wins, I think that once Ash is rank 8, he will then face rank 7, and when Ash is rank 7, he will battle rank 6, and so on and so forth, until Ash is rank 2, at which point he will get to battle Leon, meaning that Ash will get to battle everyone in the Masters 8. He will battle Flint, Cynthia, Lance, and the 3 unknown members, which is very exciting. Hopefully this is how it plays out. This is much better than what I had in mind initially, but that's the episode. So overall, this was a very fun, enjoyable, and adorable episode. Like with episode 106, I was honestly not planning to review episode 107, since I figured that episode 107 would just be one of those classic filler-like episodes where nothing important happens. These kinds of episodes are still enjoyable, but they are not exciting or hype-worthy. But Suicune appeared in this episode, and Ash got the notification for his battle against Raihan, and Yamper was just such a good boy. So I ended up deciding to review the episode, because ultimately it was an episode that I liked, and an episode that did have some important things happen in it, and it set the stage for the next 2 episodes. So yeah, this episode ended up deserving a review. It is cool that we got to see Suicune again, since Suicune's last appearance was back in episode 53, which is the episode in which Suicune was caught. It's nice that Suicune brought order and normality back to Cerise Park. And it even praised and recognized Good Boy Yamper for everything that Yamper did for the other Pokemon. It's clear that despite its long absence, Suicune still cares very much for its home and its fellow Pokemon, which is very cool. I think that Yamper really was very adorable in this episode, and it was both fun and entertaining seeing it resolve all the problems that the other Pokemon had. Also, Ash getting the notification for his battle against Raihan was the perfect way to end this episode, since it builds up the hype and it sets the stage for the next 2 episodes, while also allowing us to see what the World Carnation series might have in store for Ash in the future. Finally, I really did like Grimer and Froaky's friendship, which was very cute, wholesome, and endearing. So yeah, I really did like this episode in the end. It was hilarious, enjoyable, and cute, while still having some weight on the story, and, like episode 106, it reminded me that you should never judge an episode by its cover. But that's the video, as always. Leave your own thoughts down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did and would like to see more like it, then please consider subscribing to my channel. I love Pokemon and I love making videos on both the anime and the games. Also, please consider clicking the links on screen so that you can check out more videos like this right away. Thank you very much for watching, and let's meet again in the next video.